It's almost 6 o'clock. You wanna- Yeah. Oh, we are.
Are we on?
Okay, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and call this Thursday, June 11th, Livingston County Board meeting to order. Roll call, please, or, I'm sorry. We'll have the invocation by Pastor Jan Ambrose.
Okay. Good evening, Board, and God bless you. In Psalms 27, verse 1, it is written, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Because we walk in faith, Father, we fear not. Only believe. Believe that you are the great I am. Believe that the good work you began in us, you will also finish. We ask, believe, and receive wisdom from you this day for our Board of Directors as they conduct your business here in Livingston County. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen."
Amen. Thank you, Jan. Now we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Linda Ambrose.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That works a lot better when you're here.
Yeah. I prefer.
Okay, roll call, please. Kristen?
Carly,
Present.
Weller,
Present.
Ambrose,
Here.
Mays,
Here.
Lovell,
Here.
Fidston,
Here.
Blackard,
Here.
Airing,
Here.
Runyon,
Here.
Killian. Killian,
Here.
Wilkie. Was that you?
Yes.
Kirkton,
Kirkton here.
Vietti,
Here.
Bunny,
Present.
Slagle,
Here.
Banker,
Here.
Steichen,
Here.
Schaefer,
Here.
Fannin,
Here.
Kestner,
Here.
Ritter,
Present.
Arbogast,
Here.
Berkman,
Here.
Allen.
Here.
Okay. Before the approval of agenda, we need to scratch under property, item B, the resolution approving public infrastructure grant. That will not be happening due to the grants are all divvied out already within 24-hour periods, so.
Move as
with
amended.
Bunting, I need a second.
Second. Ritter.
Ritter. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? All right, and then, thank you. We have approval of the minutes for May 14th. I need a motion.
Motion by Fannin.
Second,
Carly.
Carly. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. Moving down to presentations, we have Chris here to give her mental health annual report. Chris?
You're okay with this?
Yeah.
one? Oh, okay.
I think so.
Do we have the presentation up? I'll go ahead and begin. Good evening, Madam Chairperson and County Board members. Thank you for allowing me to present to you tonight. You should have all received a copy of our 2018 annual report. I have hard copies for anyone that is interested. Instead tonight, instead of going over these figures, I wanted to give you a little history of mental illness and our mental health board. So we have a slide presentation. We've seen the Peanuts cartoon, makes us laugh, but again, I mean, think of how many years ago that was. Okay?
Share it differently.
What is a mental illness? A mental illness is a condition that affects a person's thinking, feeling, or mood. Such conditions may affect someone's ability to relate to others and function each day. History tells us that it was believed that people with mental illness were possessed or in need of religion. Negative attitudes toward people with mental illness led to stigmatization and unhygienic and often degrading confinement. And I think you guys will all recognize the next slide. I mean, we laughed about it, but look, they're all in the same kind of outfits, no personal choice, no privacy unless you were in solitary confinement, things like that. So that gives you an idea of what things were many, many years ago.
Is that the finance committee?
Deinstitutionalization began in 1955 with the widespread introduction of chlorpromazine, commonly known as Thorazine, the first effective antipsychotic medication. There was also awareness of the inhumane conditions and warehousing happening in many psychiatric hospitals. In 1955, there were over 558,000 people in state mental hospitals in America, over 37,000 in Illinois alone. So remember that figure of 37,000. President John F. Kennedy called for a bold new approach in October of 1963 by creating a comprehensive community care by signing into law the Community Mental Health Act, which authorizes federal grants for construction of public health or not-for-profit community mental health centers to provide inpatient, outpatient, partial hospitalization, emergency care, and consultation education services. This positive legislation shifted the financial burden from states to federal and local governments. The act provided grants to states for the construction of community mental health centers, facilities specifically designed for the delivery of mental health prevention, diagnosis, and treatment services to individuals residing in the community. By 1994, Illinois only had 2,800 people left in institutions. That was compared to the 37,000. Fully aware of the need to begin the development of a comprehensive network of community-based services for people with mental illnesses and encouraged by the passage of federal legislation, the Illinois General Assembly approved in 1963 House Bill 708, creating the Illinois Community Mental Health Act. That act, which provided for the levy of a local tax on property pursuant to approval of a referendum, mandated the appointment of a local mental health board to plan, fund, and monitor services for the mentally ill and developmentally disabled. Livingston County passed the referendum in 1968 by a 4-to-1 margin to establish our own mental health board to establish and maintain community mental health facilities and services for people with developmental disability, substance abuse, and levy any annual tax not to exceed 0.15%. With the considerable budget deficits facing the state of Illinois currently, and for some time to come, local mental health authorities bear more of the financial burden for community mental health programs and much needed services for people with mental illness and/or substance use issues and people with developmental disabilities. This is some data that was drawn from across the state by all kinds of mental health boards, 377 boards and 553 boards, but to date 78 counties, 16 townships, and 3 municipalities have produced a levy, and they have these boards in these different counties, township, municipalities. Total in 2019, all the data was gathered among all of those, $74.4 million is gathered from all of these special boards to fill the gaps for the working poor without insurance, children and substance use programs, prevention-oriented, and new and innovative programs to address the identified needs. 708 boards are mandated by statute to complete a needs assessment every 3 years. The Livingston County Mental Health Board collaborated with OSF on their needs assessment. These are the 3 main findings that were produced from that needs assessment. Mental health being the #1 issue, concern of our citizens, unhealthy lifestyles, and substance abuse use. 1 in 4 people has some form of mental illness. It can affect anyone regardless age, gender, geography, income, social status, race, ethnicity, religion, spirituality, sexual orientation, background, or other aspect of cultural identity. In 2019, your 708 levy dollars helped serve over 8,600 citizens in our county, people that have mental illness, substance use issues, or developmental disabilities. The agencies listed below received all of our funding for that, as well as some other one-time projects that we fund. I think that's it. With this COVID-19 pandemic, people have been forced to stay at home and social distance from others. Innately, we are social beings. Mental health is a heightened issue right now. The providers across our county have been continuing to provide services within the guidelines required during this pandemic. Many services are essential and important. Thank you again for your time this evening and for your commitment and services to all the citizens of Livingston County. Are there any questions?
Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the fuel code service area on futures, is there something that drives that substantial preponderance of Pontiac residency futures? Is that a transportation problem to the other communities?
No, because Futures also has a program in Dwight now. So,
Okay, so there's nothing, okay, so there's no road show, okay.
the people are just transported to the one that is closer to them, and it just happens to be a great majority of the group homes are in Pontiac.
Okay.
There are,
Okay.
Mosaic has 2 homes in Dwight. No, that's just by coincidence, and I'm sure that maybe fluctuates with time. But some of the more outlying areas of the county, as we all know, just don't have the population because they don't have the grocery stores or transportation, things like that.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to accept this report.
I'll make that motion.
Jim? Station second?
Second.
Okay, who's the first one?
Blackard. Okay, any other discussion or any other questions for Chris? From anyone? If not, roll call, please.
Carly,
Yes.
Weller,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Lovell,
Yes.
Fidstum,
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Aaron. Aaron?
He's muted.
He said yes.
Okay. Runyon? Did he say? Runyon?
Just put a pass.
Okay. Killian?
Yes.
Wilkie? Wilkie?
Hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Kirkton? Beatty?
Yes.
Bunny?
Yes.
Slagle?
Yes.
Manker?
Yes.
Steichen?
Yes.
Schaefer?
Yes.
Bannon?
Yes.
Kestner?
Yes.
Ritter?
Yes.
Arbogast?
Yes.
Bergman?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Okay.
And if anybody has any questions or want to talk about any services, please give me a call or email.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm going to stay.
Okay, now we'll move down to the consent agenda. Approval of bills, reappointment of Chris Clement, Pontiac Rural Fire Department, Fire Protection District, reappointment of Janine Boggs, Board of Health, and reappointment of Armin Groom, Board of Health. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion for all three.
Okay, Mather
Alan second.
and Allen. Okay, roll call please.
Carly,
Yes.
Weller,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Lovell,
Yes.
Vidstem,
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Herring,
Yes.
Runyon. Is he here or what? Runyon? Okay, Runyon, Killian,
Yes.
Wilkie,
Did he say no?
did he say no or yes? Wilkie,
Bill?
Wilkie,
Thumbs up or thumbs down, Bill?
there,
Did he say yes?
Can't hear you, Bill.
yes.
Yeah.
Kirkton,
Burton, yes.
Vieti,
Yes.
Bundy,
Very painful.
Bundy,
Yes. Yes.
Slagle,
Yes.
Maker,
Who's talking?
Maker,
Yes.
Station,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Fannin,
Yes.
Can I vote again?
Kessler,
That we've been
Hey.
dealing with for the last.
Kestner,
Yes.
Ritter,
Yes.
Arbogast,
Yes.
Bergman,
Sounds like that bird.
Allen,
Yes.
Runyon.
Yeah.
Mark, are you there? Okay, just mark him as present again, but not voting.
Okay, but you went through them all?
Yes. I think we got them all.
Okay. Now we'll move down to action agenda, committee reports, finance committee. Mr. Schaefer, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For consideration tonight is a one-year extension. You recall last year, against the backdrop of concern about school shootings and other violence, we got involved, the initiative of the Sheriff's Department and the school district, 3 of them anyway, involved the school resource officers, and this is an extension for 1 year with Tri-Point and Woodland and Flanagan Cornell with a proviso that because of the fact of the COVID-19 situation and because we were in a position where we could do something about this because of early retirements, they had asked for some relief on the fee, and with your obvious permission, we will indeed grant some relief on the fee this one time. Not going to make a habit of it, but thought, given the extraordinary circumstances we're in, we were in a financial position without hurting ourselves to do something about it. We suggested it to you. I would motion that this be approved.
So moved.
Is that, Ambrose, second? Any discussion?
I have some questions. I was hoping one of the superintendents would be here somehow tonight. But maybe Diane can answer any of the questions. Because it says they have a 40-hour work week, but then they would like them to attend school functions at night or to help direct traffic or anything like that. If so, it said at time they get overtime pay. Do you know if they're just getting comp time? Do they get overtime pay, or are they just doing some of this work free gratis?
You may want to Diane and maybe Jeff Johnson as well.
Gregor's on there too.
Oh,
Who's
oh,
here?
Greg.
Oh, Chad.
Go ahead, Diane.
Chance
Okay.
and Jeff are on there. So.
Oh, they are.
We do bill for the overtime. When they do work overtime, the sheriff's department sends us a sheet, they tell us what they've worked, and then I send an invoice to the school.
Okay, so there's overtime. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Madam Chairman, is Runyon?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why you couldn't, I have nothing on this particular issue, but I don't know why you couldn't hear me in the last two votes. I wanted to vote yes on both of them. I don't know why I wasn't being picked up.
Okay, yeah, we were wondering what happened to you. We didn't know if you set your phone down or not, so, okay, we'll
No,
make
I was
note.
there, I was trying to vote yes on both of those, but you weren't hearing me, so.
Okay, noted.
Duly noted.
If there's no other questions, I'll call for roll call.
Carly,
Yes.
Muller,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Lovell,
Yes.
Fidston,
Yes.
Blackard. Blackard,
Yes.
Aaron, Aaron,
Gerald?
Yes. I never heard my name called.
Runyon,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Wilkie,
Yes.
Kirkton,
Kirkton, yes.
Vietti,
Yes.
Bunny,
Yes.
Schlegel,
Yes.
Banker, Banker,
It's hard to hear you.
Banker,
Yes, it's hard to hear you.
okay. Station,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Bannon,
Yes.
Kestner,
Yes.
Ritter,
Ritter, yes.
Arbogast,
Yes.
Berkman,
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Thank you. The second item that moved to our committee was the application for $137,500 application from the GLC EDC for a grant for the Wally's Service Center on the west side of Pontiac. This is in character of the same type of thing we've done for the program we have available for people. They're trying to take advantage of that, obviously. Their request and the specifics comports with our terms. Obviously, on the back end of it, if they don't comply with those terms, they owe us some money back. So, given that it's been drafted in the form, they've disclosed the type of positions that they will offer, I would motion that this agreement be approved.
I will second it.
Any discussion?
Okay, any discussion?
It's on the line if there are any questions, but
Who is it?
I don't want to interrupt if
Adam from GLEDC.
Oh, yeah, no,
I'd like to know what Wally's operating company is or does, or whatever.
Sure. Wally's operating company is the LLC that was formed for the Wally's gas station out on the west side of town.
Oh, okay.
It's the new gas station. They have about a $15 million investment in that project. They'll be creating well over 100 jobs. This incentive is only for the full-time jobs that meet the wage and benefit package requirements that we have in place and that have been met by all other grant applicants. As Mr. Schaefer said, there's a monitoring period, and they are securing the obligation of $137,500 in exchange for creating the 25 jobs with a letter of credit. So if they don't create them, we'll be able to pull the letter of credit and take that back, the funds back for the jobs that they failed to create, and also it's just a one-time, not a reoccurring grant.
Yeah, out by the hotel.
Okay, thank you, yeah, because I just noticed it was out of Houston, Texas, and I know, it's so, Randy just explained it, it's the new one going in, okay.
Adam Weller here.
Hi, Bob.
How many locations are they like nationwide or
This is their first. They are modeling this business concept off a gas station chain called Buc-ee's in Texas.
yeah, Buc-ee's, yeah.
In Texas, so this is gonna be a lot of the same sort of design elements, products and services.
This is their first location, this is a startup?
Well, this is, but Wally's is after the name of the Wallace family, and the Wallace family owns several hundred gas stations in Missouri. So this auto plaza with 120 some, bays and electric car changing, they have 30,000 square feet of retail space, okay?
At this location?
At this location. This is the first of its kind. What they have, what the Wallace family controls, is 100, well over 100 service stations that are just, 2 or 4 pump service stations in Missouri. So this is their first foray into a large auto plaza. But the Wallace family, actually, Mrs. Wallace was ranked as one of the most successful business women in the state of Missouri by Crane's Business Journal. So, yes, this particular station is a startup, but this family has generations of experience in the gas business.
Adam, I have a question. I'm sorry, were you done, Bob?
Yes, thank you, Adam.
Okay. Adam, this is Kathy. I have a question. When is the opening date?
Well, they wanted to be open for Memorial Day, and now their target is mid-July. And, with COVID, there's just been delays and setbacks and plan changes, and so I'll tell you between the 4th of July and Labor Day. When they broke ground, they wanted Memorial Day, so they're overdue.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Adam or Tim? Okay, if not, roll call, please.
Bill has one.
Oh, Bill? Bill?
Thanks, Bill. Trump's house.
Hey, Adam,
Yes.
how much is the grant for?
It's for one, yep, that's all right. It's for $137,500.
Okay.
For 25 jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, if no other questions, roll call, Christie.
Carly,
Yes.
Weller,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Lovell,
Yes.
Vidstum. Vidstum,
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Runyon,
No.
Killian,
Yes.
Wilkie, Wilkie,
No.
Kirkton, Kirkton,
He's muted.
Kirkton, yes.
Vietti,
Yes.
Bunning,
Yes.
Slagle,
Yes.
Manker,
Yes.
Steichen,
No.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Fannin,
Yes.
Kestner,
Yes.
Ritter,
Yes.
Arbogast,
Yes.
Berkman,
No.
Allen,
Yes.
4 nays.
Okay,
Okay, thanks a bunch. The only other thing is Diane built a budget calendar, and we'll start gathering information, due dates from department officials, June 26th.
all right, thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move down to Property Committee, Mr. Killian.
Thank you. I think everybody's had glad to hear and see everybody, by the way. I think everybody's had ample time to look at the print for the H&E building. And I think it's time that we have a motion to release the plans to start the bid process.
Is that a motion, Killian, by you, or
Pardon me?
is that, you're making the motion? Are you making that
I will
motion?
make that motion, yes.
All right, so we need a second?
Second by Lovell.
To release the plans as drawn for the bid process.
Okay, Killian and Lovell.
Second.
Lovell second.
Lovell second.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Sure, Mr. Station.
When do you expect to have the bids back? And when are the bids gonna be approved and, for the groundbreaking? Is there a groundbreaking date?
We don't have a groundbreaking date, but the bids are due July 22nd at 2 p.m. So in August, the committee at that time will review a recommendation for approval, hopefully, and so will the full board in August.
So you don't know if you're gonna be breaking ground this year or not?
It is on the schedule for them to break ground. It's on the schedule for them to start work immediately after board approval, which I believe is the 14th, right off the top of my head. But obviously it's gonna take some time to get those contracts in place, so it'll depend. But it's supposed to start in August.
So September 1st would be
A reasonable.
more realistic?
Yeah.
Any other questions? If not, I'll call for roll call.
Carly,
Yes.
Weller,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Mays. Mays,
He's muted.
Mays. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Down.
There's a no.
Okay, Lovell,
Yes.
Fitstum,
Yes.
Blackard,
No.
Aaron. Aaron.
Yes.
Gerald, did you say yes?
I have heard my name as yes, though, yes. My name was a call.
Okay. Runyon,
Yes.
Killian. Killian?
Yes.
Wilkie,
No.
Kirkton,
Kirkton, yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Bunning,
Yes.
Slagle,
Yes.
Manker,
Yeah.
Station,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Bannon,
Yes.
Kistner,
Yes.
Ritter,
Ritter, yes.
Arbogast,
Yes.
Berkman. You say yes.
Yes.
Allen,
Killian.
To release
Allen,
plans for the,
Vicky,
Yes.
thank you.
Do you have anything else, Patrick, for your report?
We need a mute.
yeah, for the new building.
Who's talking?
That's Blacker. All right, he's unmuted.
Patrick, do you have anything else for your report?
No, that is all we have on the properties, other than we paid bills and did the general maintenance on keeping these buildings up to standard. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay, any other committee chairs would like to report on anything else on their committees?
Ag and Zoning Chair would like to remind everybody that the electronic recycling is going to take place on June 20th from 9 to 1 at the Fairbury Public Works. So just wanted to remind everybody, June 20th, 9 to 1, Fairbury Public Works for electronic recycling. Electronic
What part of
recycling.
town is the Fairbury Public Works in?
What part of town?
Slago, can you help me out a little bit?
Central.
Right next to Slagle Industries.
Well, where's that?
Well, that's the whole town.
No, that's in Forest.
2 blocks north of Dairy Queen. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Anybody else have any comments on their committees?
Just not the railroad tracks.
If not, we'll move down to public comment. Is there any?
I have one, Madam Chairman.
Yes, Bob?
I think we need to have a little tip of the county board hat to our sheriff for his wonderful performance on Fox and Friends the other morning. I think he represented Livingston County well, and he represented law enforcement well. He did an outstanding job, and for the law enforcement community and the supporters of the law enforcement community, of which there's many of us. I think Tony did a bang-up job. I think Lieutenant Hamilton might be on. I don't know if Tony's on here with us or not, but good job, guys.
Thanks, Bob.
Madam
Hamilton,
Chair,
did you have anything to
I
add?
would also like to echo what Mr. Willer said, also noting that Sheriff Childress is definitely working hard to make Livingston County safe, and working with the White House in understanding how to have Livingston County as a model throughout the United States. And so I too think that's commendable.
Thanks, Paul.
Chad says thank you.
Chat, okay. Any other public comment? Hearing none? Need a motion to adjourn, please.
Make a motion to adjourn, Ritter.
Second by Lovell.
Second by Lovell. All in favor for adjourning?
Aye.
Opposed?
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. Have a
Be
good
safe.
weekend.
Jason,